and welcome to my kitchen. There's not a day that goes by that people don't ask me, Core, what do you eat? How do you eat? How should I make it? Can you teach me? Can I follow you around all day? Well, this is my best way to show you. We're going to do a salmon demonstration, and I'm going to go from beginning to end. So, surgical gloves, very important. I always wear surgical gloves. So we start off putting our surgical gloves on. I buy my salmon at Costco. That's up to you. I buy large portions because we eat a lot of fish. Aluminum foil. And the reason for the 2 pieces, and I use the heavy duty large aluminum foil, is when you actually section it to steam it, we're making steamed salmon, you don't want your knife to cut into right through your foil. Next, you'll be needing a garlic press, a flat knife, and your sharp knife. Garlic, fresh garlic, I peel it. I buy the garlic, I peel it, I have it all ready. I use an awful lot of garlic, so I like to have it on hand. Here's my fresh garlic. The next thing I do is have 1 layer of paper towel that I'm going to rest my fish on, and 1 layer to dry the top. I take my fish, I rinse it under cold water, always making sure that there aren't any visible pieces of, you can just pull that right off. Skin, I always buy skinless fish, I prefer it. And I do buy farm raised. I like it over the wild. I just like the flavor, but that's solely up to you. I bring it over to my prep area, lay it out, use paper towel to dry the top really well. It's important to dry the top so that your dry rub stays on it and doesn't just roll off. You want to feel your fish a little bit, make sure that you don't have any bones. Sometimes that happens, and even if you check it, at times you'll find one. So once your fish is dry, you can take your rubber gloves off, your surgical gloves, and discard this. Salmon is not the only fish you can use for this. Any kind of heavy, thick fish is great for steaming. And I use sea salt, black pepper, a smoky salt, and a smoky paprika chipotle seasoning, which I can give you all resources where to purchase these things. Now, there isn't a person that I've met that doesn't love this salmon, even if they say they hate fish. They love this. So what we're going to do first is take our garlic, and we use 1 clove on each side. You don't need more than that, it just is too overpowering. So you crush your garlic on your salmon, and take your knife. Now, garlic is very sticky, it's sweet, so if you just rub your knife across the entire salmon, you'll see the glisten of the garlic just go all over it, and it just leaves a nice, smooth little layer of garlic. Now again, if you're not a garlic lover, you don't have to use it, but I can't see life without garlic. Next, we'll put on our sea salt. Now, I buy these big Kirkland ones. They're great, last a long time. And I do just a coating over the fish. I go with my smoky sea salt. Now, I use the smoky sea salt because it gives it a really nice little barbecue flavor. But again, this is up to you. If you're not, you don't want that much salt, or you don't like that smoky flavor, this fish can be done in so many different fashions. If you like Asian, if you like lemon pepper, there are so many different ways to do it. The only thing you want to bear in mind is this is not a lemon or orange base, so there's no acidulation, so your fish is not going to cook. You can put this rub on it early in the morning and then actually make it later that day. It's not going to cook your fish. But if you're going to do an Asian style and it's got some lemon in it or something like that, you have to be careful. It should only be on that fish no more than 20 minutes because it'll start cooking your fish. So I take my smoky sea salt and just give it a light coating across the top. Then black pepper, again, Kirkland, great, large. And I like to aggressively season most of my food. I like things spicy, I like things well seasoned. That's up to you. If you're not a pepper lover, you don't have to do it. Spoon. You need a spoon because sometimes these seasonings get stuck in there. Again, the amount of spice that you use is up to you. I like a nice thick coating, so I sprinkle it on top. As you can tell, I like it aggressively spiced. And then I take the back of my spoon and just make sure that it's rubbed into the fish. Now I'm going to show you the purpose of the bottom piece of paper towel. So you don't have to really overhandle the fish. You just grab the whole thing by the paper towel underneath and flip it over. Discard your paper towel, and the other side is ready for seasoning. So again, you're going to repeat the same process. Garlic, 1 nice sized clove. Use your flat knife. Rub it across the entire fish. You want everyone to get a little piece of that good garlic flavor. Now you know, fatty fishes are so important, those omegas, to keep our joints and our bodies really healthy, our heart. So even if you don't like salmon, try another fatty fish, tuna. There's so many great fishes, cod. Cod is very mild. You can do this with cod. That'll be another episode. I'll show you some other recipes. So we're done with this. Again, repeat the entire process. Sea salt. Now I don't like anything without salt, but again, that's up to you. Black pepper. This is where your workouts come in handy. A little bit of the smoky salt. And don't put your spoon into your seasoning. You just rub the fish with it. Either you take another spoon or you just gently press your seasoning on. Let it pour out, and then you could use your spoon. You never want to dip anything back into your seasoning that's been touching your meats or your fish. So we've got the first process of the fish set. Now, this can be done immediately. You can start steaming it immediately, or again, if you're in a rush, you can just put it in the fridge and open it up for later. Now, a good knife is important to have a really good sharp knife. This happens to be a ceramic knife that I absolutely love. It's called the Santao, and it's a Japanese knife. It really never needs sharpening. It's wonderful. It's one of my favorite knives in the kitchen. So I portion it like so. 1, 2. Now it seems large, but I'm going to show you when we steam it how you end up with the perfect size portion. 3, 4, and this big piece at the end, you don't have to cut. This ends up being small. If you don't like the tail end, you can cut that off. That's up to you. What you'll be needing to steam the fish is tongs, a good set of tongs. Everyone should have tongs in their kitchen. It's an implement that really is important. A small spatula, a good pot. You don't need anything special, any kind of pot that you have, and a basic steamer basket. You can get this anywhere. TJ Maxx, Marshalls has them all the time for $3.99. So you want to put some nice cold water. My water is filtered in my kitchen. I have a filter underneath. That's up to you. You can use bottled water or filtered water. I like to use filtered water, better for the environment. I put water in the pot. So you don't want to see the water, otherwise your fish will be sitting in the water. You'll lose a lot of your seasoning. Just low enough that it's going to steam it. You put the pot on the stove and you set it on high. Now this is the nice thing about having the foil, and the two pieces makes it easy to transport over to your stove. So I grab the ends, I put it on the side. All right, so here we go. You're going to be quite shocked how fast and how easy this is. I want to give you easy options, fresh food prepared by you, for you and your family, and easy. You can bring this home and have this all done literally in 20 minutes. So you can fit 3 big pieces in your pot. So I put one on the end, and be careful, lay it down carefully, slowly. Otherwise, sometimes your steamer rolls over, and then again your fish is in the water. So I put 3 pieces of fish into the pot, like so. Now we're going to cover, just leave it. I always use these glass lock lids. I like glass. I like to store everything in glass. I don't really like plastic. First of all, you can see what's in the fridge. And second of all, it's easy to reheat in if you want. Salmon is nice to eat hot right as soon as you make it, even right on top of your salad with sides of vegetables, or cold. Very easy. Pull it out of the refrigerator. Salmon is wonderful cold. So you're going to wait for this to steam, and then I'll show you the next process. So I want to show you the 3 pieces sitting in your steamer basket. It's just starting to boil right now. Here's your 3 pieces, and we're just going to wait a few minutes. So we'll close that. So you want to open it and look at it, because you don't want to overcook this. You overcook it and it becomes very dry. So the reason for your spatula is not only to lift it out, but to cut it in the middle and just check for doneness. Now right now this is still a little rare, so we're going to cover it. Okay, so you would have to really check it often at this point, because it's so easy to overcook this fish. It continues cooking after you pull it out of the pot. So you'll feel it if you want to give it a little poke in the middle. The thinner pieces will be done fast. So here's our first piece. We have our glass ready to receive our nice delicious fish. This piece is pretty thin. That one's ready. You know, after doing it for such a long time, you just know how it feels. It loses that real gelatinous feel. It's a little firm, but not over firm where it's going to end up being dry fish. So all the thin pieces I'm pulling out now. There's 2 pieces that are a little thicker. Let's just leave them in a little longer. 1 more minute. And then we'll put our last 2 pieces in. Okay, so it's been in there another like minute. And to my eye and feel, it's ready. Looks perfect. Always check, you know, before you put your last set in, check underneath, make sure you have enough water. You don't want to lose your water. Your pot will burn, your fish will be ruined. The last 2 pieces we'll put in. And then I'm going to show you the spices that I used for this particular fish. Okay, so I just want to show you a resource. I happen to use these Victoria Taylor seasonings. They're all natural. Sometimes when you're lucky, you can get them at Home Goods, TJ Maxx or Marshalls, like you say, $4.99. Or you can go actually to the website, which is www.vgourmet.com. It's going to cost about double the price, but it's worth it. These seasonings are wonderful. Here are some that I use regularly. Today I used the smoky paprika chipotle seasoning. Love it. But again, you can do whatever you want. I use the Kirkland brand, salt and pepper, simple. I use smoky salts. There are different brands, there are different types. I happen to like the alderwood. It's just my particular preference. They have a hickory. This is made with aged oak wine barrels, the sea salt. It just imparts a nice little flavor. And as far as the chipotle, if you can't find this brand, there are other brands available. McCormick makes it, this Dean and Jacobs, there's so many. What I'd like to add is, again, most of us are in a rush. We don't have time to make a lot of vegetables. Salad's always easy, but a good way to get vegetables into yourself and your family if you're in a total rush is the Green Mountain Gringo salsa. It's all natural, there's no fat in it, it's all veggies, it's delicious. It comes in mild, medium, and hot. And again, the spicy girl that I am, I like hot. And an avocado, what could be easier than this? I always have a stack of avocados in the kitchen. Just open it up when it's ready and ripe and eat it with your salmon, with the salsa. You have a perfect meal. Again, we're going to check our last bit of salmon. I'm going to slice it in half. So as the pot becomes so hot like this, it even is faster. So the entire process of seasoning, cutting, steaming, the entire thing, beginning to end, should not take more than 25 minutes. That's it. Another thing about this fish, if you don't want to make it inside, you can make it outside on the grill. But what's nice about steaming, it's not only super healthy, but there's no fishy smell in your house. So if you're having people over, you're not going to have that fishy stink like you made it in the oven or on a saute pan. So I hope you enjoyed what I had to share with you. I have many more recipes. I hope this is the first of many I will bring out to you. And enjoy. Bon appetit.